Talk about it anyway. Might as well record it.
Yeah. All right, we're recording now. Hey, everybody. This is just completely impromptu. We're doing a Geeky Gentleman mini on reactions to the Man of Steel trailer.
Oh my!
Today is Milan Jeftic 1992 and Senior Nerd. So with that being go.
Okay, I'll go first.
Okay.
I'll go. As a Superman fan, I've been a Superman fan since childhood. From the Reeves movie and the Fletcher cartoon, and of course the anime series, and this is, and though I did like Superman Returns, although every time I watch it I like it less, this is honestly, Man of Steel is the Superman movie that us Superman fans have been waiting for. It is fantastic. By the way, people on the East Coast, is now 12 a.m. on 12/12/12.
Oh, I just know.
Oh my God, where's my head? Anyway,
oh my God.
Wait, no, that's next week. No, anyway, so Man of Steel. I am so excited for this movie. It's literally my most anticipated movie of ever. Since the announcement and the casting, and seeing Vic's of the scene of set photos, the casting, and what the movie's gonna be, and Nolan be a part of it. Well, he's producing it. He co-wrote it, I believe. Yeah, he co-wrote it.
Wrote it. Nolan's the one that's Nolan's kind of like the godfather on this project. He's not directly involved in any way, but anytime they have a question about how do you think we should do this, he says, and then they do that.
Right.
One thing, in that trailer, I know this was in the Superman fights an actual super-powered foe, and that just like finally we get to see Superman punch somebody that is equally as strong as he is. Oh my God! Yeah, you see the trailer and just shit blowing up, and it's like, oh, it looks so incredibly epic.
It looks really cosmic. Am I the only one?
Yes. It's directed by Zack Snyder, and it doesn't really look much like a Zack Snyder movie.
No, but you
know, like, I mean, when you see 300, you know that's a trailer for 300. You know that's Zack Snyder.
I disagree with you, Ed, because there's that thing. There's that little clip when he's about to fly in the trailer for the first time, where he's about to take off and you see the ground cracking in slow motion. That is very Zack Snyder.
Yeah. Well, I mean, for the most part, I mean, like, say, like, well, I don't want to compare, but say, like, a trailer for Sucker Punch to Man of Steel.
The thing, you know what the trailer reminds me of? You know, the trailer reminds me of, I don't know if you've seen it, but it's called The World Tree. It's Tree of Life. You know, it's Tree of Life. It was a
Brad Pitt, yeah.
It reminds me of that. You know, it has the same sort of tone. But the thing that I just love about it, Superman breaks the sound barrier, and it's so awesome to see, you know, 2012, you know, level of effects used with Superman, and it looks cosmic, like Sid said, but it's one of those movies that's just like, I know I'm gonna cry. Even I just pray that. Oh, it's like, but when I saw the teaser trailer with Pa Kent, that made me cry. I don't care what nobody says. I don't even know why. Just like Pa Kent with the, you know, kitty Superman with the red cape, and it's just it looks so down to earth. And I just know, like, when the epic stuff comes in with the Superman flying thing, I know there's a giant monster and Superman's gonna fight, you know, a giant monster that's probably, I don't know, maybe it's like an alien monster, you know, we're theorizing, but maybe I hope it's Parasite.
It's a giant spider.
No, it's like a giant Hulk-like thing.
Giant spider, because you know spiders are the most dangerous, ferocious predator in the animal kingdom.
Yeah, and polar bears.
Yeah.
And polar bears.
Basically, we know that Zod is in it. Some chick is in it, and a giant monster. I can verify that there's a giant monster in this movie, and Superman will fight a giant monster. I just hope it's the Parasite. I'm like, please let it be a giant
cool.
monster.
I'd like to see them double villain.
Yeah.
The other thing I really wanted to hit on was the score for this.
Oh my god.
That operatic, that singer kind of thing was interesting to me. I don't know. What'd you guys think about it?
I loved it. I loved the whole kind of really epic kind of choir, like, oh, it's so good.
Yeah, I liked it. Although some people said it's taken from Gladiator, the trailer for Gladiator.
Oh no.
I don't know. Well, that's what it says, but it looks.
Well, it does have Russell Crowe in it.
Yeah.
Russell
said, Russell said, yeah, you can use the music from my movie for your trailer. He gives it okay, but yeah, the music was very. It sets the tone for the trailer. I don't know about the movie. A lot of people say that the criticism towards this trailer is they're trying to make it dark, like Nolan's.
Oh
Batman.
no.
No, I
felt very positive about it because I mean he's dealing with very real issues that he should have to be dealing with in the trailer we see, and that's obviously going to be probably the first act of the movie.
It's a very down to earth.
I think a lot of people can agree. My favorite part is the one where young Clark talk about saving the kids on the bus, and Jonathan Kent was like, you should keep it secret. And I said, what's supposed to do? Leave them to die? And there's a pause, and Pocket says, maybe.
Yeah, that was definitely really interesting, and that's what I was trying to get at. Is it looks not dark, it just looks realistic. It's not a comic book where everything can work out in the end. It looks like there are going to be some actual consequences to what goes on in this movie.
Oh my god! And you know what? If this movie is awesome, you just know they're just gonna go like, okay, this movie was great. We gotta up the ante on the Justice League movie, because I know the Avengers was awesome, and looking at this movie, at this trailer, hopefully, like Sid mentioned this before, that Marvel movies have this kind of lighthearted, overly pop art, like comic booky feel to them, which is awesome. Maybe the DC movies would have the same sort of tone as Superman, not having them be like Superman Returns by any means, still having awesome fights and stuff.
Marvel's very good at popcorn. You can. It's got some deeper levels here and there, but for the most part, it's flash and flare.
It's fun. It's meant to be fun entertainment.
Hold on. DC is definitely trying to do something. I think with the Dark Knight trilogy, it set a tone that they'd be much better using their characters as metaphors and dealing with major ideas and timeless problems. I think works a lot better for them because their heroes are timeless, whereas Marvel's heroes are relatable because they're much more human. So I think that DC should definitely go with that. And Milan was talking about a Justice League movie. Don't get me wrong, I'd love to see a Justice League movie, but personally, I would rather see a World's Finest movie before I see a Justice League movie.
A World's Finest, really? You want to see a Batman-Superman team up?
Yeah, I'd rather have that first than just if I had to choose between one of these is going to come, both of these are going to come out, one's going to have to come out first, Justice League or World's Finest. No hesitation, I would say World's Finest.
No, because I think
I will go with World's Finest that lead up to Justice League.
Yeah, I'd like to be in the same continuity. I'm just saying I would rather have a World's Finest movie than a Justice League movie.
So a Timiverse type of a thing.
A what?
Like with the before they made Justice League, the Tim.
First
they had the World's Finest, then they had Justice League. I know what you're saying, but I don't know. Just Batman and Superman. It's like you either have a Justice League movie where you get more bang for your buck, if you will, and just first you get Batman and Superman. Yes, I already seen 3 movies with Batman, and I had a great, hopefully, fingers crossed, a great movie with Superman. And sure, if seeing them together, yeah, well, I'm sure they
Let me
can
put it this way:
face.
I don't need a Batman Superman trilogy. I just want
Yeah.
a world's finest movie before we get a Justice League movie, because I always felt like they're closer than any of the other heroes on the team because they've worked together just on their own. You know?
Yeah.
Hmm.
I
I
will. Yeah,
suppose.
I will go with that. Although I will say I would like to see a Flash movie
Oh
before
yeah,
Justice.
I
Yeah.
love the Flash.
Oh, well, that's personal thing. But on to the Man of Steel. Yeah, I forgot my thoughts. Oh, let's go with the. I think Henry Cavill will make a great Superman.
Oh, he
He
looks the
definitely
part.
looks the part. He definitely looks the part. It was interesting that they didn't give him, like, they kept the beard on until he was in the costume. It was like, good choice, Zack Snyder. Good
Yeah.
choice. Because then you don't really
Yeah.
quite see it until it happens. It was really interesting. Um, I don't know. I was somewhat surprised we didn't see him as Clark Kent at all in this.
We got a glimpse of him when he was like.
I mean Clark Kent as an adult, not when he was a kid.
Oh no, it's interesting. It looks like we're getting more of a like a hometown middle America type farmer's boy Clark Kent, and then maybe we'll see like that farmer boy Clark Kent putting on like the more like the Clark Kent like we mostly know, like the glasses and the dweeby guy. I don't know if we're gonna have that. Maybe we'll have a little bit like a wink and a nod to that. But I think it's gonna
No.
be mostly like just Superman, cosmic crusader for the human race, and just down to earth farmer's boy, fisherman type Clark Kent.
I'd be
Yeah,
okay with that. I'd like to see that.
Yeah. The thing is that we know this is an origin, and I should mention that people say I don't want a Superman origin. I do. I want the reboot to be a Superman origin. See, the thing about Amazing Spider-Man is, though I liked it, I'm not one of those people who think it's the greatest movie in the world. I like the movie. The origin slowed the movie to me down. And
the thing is, Ed, the Donner Superman, it was very much an epic. It wasn't meant to be like a fast-paced movie. It was meant to be, it was meant to be like The Rogue, or like Ben-Hur, or just any of those biblical things. It was meant to be those biblical movies for a superhero character, and it was the only thing that had done that up until Watchmen. Dark Knight included. Dark Knight was still very much a movie. It was a very fast-paced movie, whereas Donner's Superman 1 and parts of 2 were very much supposed to be an epic. And then it didn't happen again until we got the ultimate cut of Watchmen, that we got another epic superhero movie in the true sense of the word.
The thing about the trailer that kind of worries me is that I just hope Krypton and Superman's parents, Kal-El's parents. I think I just hope they capture the same sort of epicness of Krypton and like otherworldliness as they did in the Donner film. I mean, the Donner film, they were literally wearing light, and it's just like,
yeah. The thing about that is you didn't see much, and I don't need them to be wearing weird clothes and have very strange architecture.
No, it's not.
I just need them to be very like cold emotionally, personally. Like that's what really sold the whole alien feel to it to me, is just the guy's sitting there, he's one of their most respected scientists, and is like, the planet's probably gonna blow up, guys, and they're just like, well, you've been overruled by the council, so if you continue to say anything, then we'll kill you too, basically, or we'll exile you too. Well, that's not an appropriate reaction at all. It was so emotionally cold and removed in the other ones.
Yeah.
That's what really sold the alienness to it.
For me it's more about the aesthetic. If you look at the costumes that Jor-El wears, it's just they're wearing black leather, and it's like I don't know, it just seems kind of like
Really, it looked like satin to me.
Yeah, it looks. Are you talking about when the Brand Award?
No, it's like they actually showed the costumes that Superman's parents would, well, at least Superman's dad would wear, but it's
Oh yeah,
it's
yeah.
black. It's like, you know, I don't know, maybe like, it's gonna be like awesome.
No, it was more like a bit like a royal look. Like something. I look at. I think about it. It reminds me of something that God, who is it? Odin wore in the Thor movie. It looked like this royal getup.
No, the Odin had color. This is just like a black. I'm not criticizing.
I don't think it's black. I don't know if it's black. There's some color in it. Like I see a bit of red on the because he has the S, like Superman. Wait, are you talking about with Russell Crowe as Jor-El? Or are you talking about Marlon Brando as Jor-El? Because I'm confused. You're not...
Russell Crowe, you know, in the trailer.
Okay, yeah, Russell Crowe as Jor-El. So, yeah, because I saw that one photo of him, and he does. Although he's a scientist, not like much of a royalty guy, if I remember correctly. But I think I know what you mean. But I think I see some color in the Jor-El suit, costume on those set photos.
That's well, I don't know.
The thing about this trailer that excites me is just that we're finally getting, you know, DC's finally taking steps to make their actual heroes, like their actual comic properties, big, and they're actually taking steps to produce, you know, full action movies. Because this thing that's been pissing me off about DC, they've been doing some pretty good movies. You know, you got Watchmen, you got V for Vendetta, and stuff like that. But they've really been staying away from their superhero properties for some reason.
Yeah.
And then when they did Green Lantern, though I liked it, it failed with the general public.
It's not with me about the Green Lantern movie. It was lacking in you know, it was a good enough movie like
Well, here's Sid said that, you know, Batman was meant to be a symbolism, and so Superman with Man of Steel, Green Lantern was pretty much like one of those.
Green Lantern was very similar to a Marvel movie.
No, it wasn't that. It's just, you see, it's more about this.
It was very similar in tone to a Marvel, which I don't think works for the character as well.
No. But the thing with me about the Green Lantern movie, you know, cinematically, because I'm a big, you know, I'm a big art guy and a big cinematography guy, and just like looking at the you know, Sinestro Corps and just the art, you know, from like basically from Sinestro Corps thereon, they're just the sweeping, epic, colorful, you know, landscapes that are drawn in those, you know, Green Lantern comic books. And just to see the movie, like, you expect this amazing, large, you know, widescreen cosmic vision with the Green Lantern movie, and you get something like, it's not bad. It's something that's, you know, if they only gave it a little bit more money and just.
No, I don't think it needed more money. I think it just needed to spend more time in space and less time on Earth. That's probably the fairest.
Yeah, I think the director was a bad choice.
The director.
I agree with that.
I do like Mark Campbell, but he's just, that's not his element.
No. The director wasn't right for the material at all. But hopefully, I don't know. Do you think they're going to be using?
Here's what I'm going to posit. I think Green Lantern with Ryan Reynolds totally deserves a second chance.
Oh yeah.
There was some really good stuff.
And Mark Strong as Sinestro, he should. I love him.
Oh yeah. There's some. I'm not saying the movie, you know, was terrible. There were some really genuinely, you know, good veins of quality in there. It just like, I don't know. Maybe.
And rebooting it is a bad idea.
No. You might as well just. You got what
either
you got.
can it or do a sequel.
Because there's no way you're going to top it visually. I'm going to tell you that right now. Like, as far as the visual aesthetic of the costume and the way some of the environments looked, there's no way you're going to top that visually. Because that just looked so otherworldly. Like, just with the organic look of some of the buildings on Oa and the way that the costumes were that second skin weird look to it. Where it was wearing energy and you could see it pulsing through the cracks in the costume. That was just so cool. And it was like, it's something I wish the comics would do. You know, rarely do I wish that the comics would adopt the costumes that the movies are doing, but it's something I almost wish the comics would do. Because that's the thing, is Hal Jordan's always like, actually it's not fabric in the comics, but it looks like fabric in the comics. It does not look like an energy suit, you know?
Yeah, but I don't. You know what would be great if they if they took the similar, cinematic tone with the Justice League, of obviously with some lights turned on and some more color, imagine that, Green Lantern suit standing next to Superman in the trailer. That would be cool. I mean, it's a good movie. Well,
I saw a trailer. I saw a fan trailer for a Justice League movie, and someone actually did a really good job of masking where they had Green Lantern. You remember that last shot from the Green Lantern movie where he's flying around through the clouds and stuff?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they took that and they masked it with the last shot from Superman Returns and put them like basically side by side so that they're actually like flying around each other, and it looked great.
Cool.
Just absolutely awesome shot.
But back to Man of Steel.
That's the thing. There's not a ton to say about it right now that's like worth value. I mean, we can sit here and geek out. Oh, this part was cool. This part was cool. This part was amazing.
Oh, wait, I should mention you saw a little glimpse. I think you saw a little glimpse of who's Lawrence Fishburne as Perry White.
Oh yeah, he was running away from an explosion with Lois, and that was just like when you saw that one scene, like one little shot, it was like half a second, and you see that just like buildings falling down, fire, and then just like yes, there's gonna be, and then you see after that just Superman and Zod just flying, some guy.
And then the last part, and then the last thing Superman said, he says something that. My father believes that the world is not ready for me. Question is, are you really? Or something in that vein.
Oh, that's great.
That's interesting too.
It's interesting.
The one thing that caught my eye that we haven't mentioned yet was Superman wearing handcuffs and being escorted by guards in one shot.
Yeah,
he was.
Yeah, there's a poster of that, and people's like, why is Superman in handcuffs? Because he could just break away, just fly away.
Well,
I think it's
obviously break away from the handcuffs, and he was smiling, so he was obviously cooperating. That's not my problem with it. I just want to know what the hell sets up that.
I don't know. Well, it's a super-powered alien flying around. Obviously, the government's gonna get involved. Cadmus.
Are you from Mexico?
I get that he was being complacent and stuff. I get that he was like cooperating, but still, how did they ground him and take him in?
Just say, hey,
I really
Superman,
want to know what the setup for that is.
I think it's like he doesn't want to he wants to be show he's hostile and shit, and just it's a cooperation that he doesn't want.
No, I get that, Ed. Like I said, I get that. I understand that he was not forced to come in because he could have obviously stopped them if they tried to force him. What I want to know is the setup for how he got to the point where they handcuffed him and took him in. I don't care about what his intentions were. I just want to know that the actual story element there, because that seems really interesting. But anyway,
guys,
I should mention something from the movie. Now, this is pretty much since Superman 3 that we have a live-action Superman movie without Lex Luthor, which is fine. Because he's been overdoing it a lot.
See, I don't think that we should have a movie without Lex Luthor. I just don't think he should be the main villain. I think he should just be there. I think they should mention him. I think it should be like Norman in Amazing Spider-Man, where they mention him. Little more than that, because he kind of annoyed me in Amazing Spider-Man, where we never even saw him at all. I want to see Lex profiting from somehow from negative things in this. Let me put it that way. I don't need Superman to be involved. I don't need here's what I want. I want Lex somehow profiting from what happens in this movie that is bad, and at the same time, just maybe after credits teaser, I want to see Superman just floating outside of Lex's office.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Like that scene, in the first episode arc in anime series.
Exactly.
He's just flying in front of the building, and Lex is talking to him, and he's not saying a word, and Lex is getting period. That'd be awesome.
Yeah, just something like that. I don't need Lex Luthor to be the main villain. I just want him involved. Like, that's the thing. People are like, no Lex Luthor. I'm like, no, because Lex is awesome when he's indirectly involved. That's what was so good about the end of the Joker blogs, is Lex just comes on screen at the very end, and you're like, yes, perfect. You don't want him, like, I don't like Lex Luthor in essentially the Iron Man costume. I don't like that. What I like is just Lex Luthor profiting from horrible things.
Yeah,
that is great. Still, it's more about you don't want Lex Luthor. I know, I agree with you at some points. You don't want Lex Luthor to be a physical threat towards Superman, but more of a economic.
No, I want him to be profiting from things Superman.
Yeah.
I want Superman to want to stop him, but to have nothing he can do.
Yeah,
that's
what
when
I
Lex
mean.
Luthor is most effective. Like,
yeah.
Did you ever read Lex Luthor, Man of Steel?
No, I haven't.
Read it. Like, we're ending this call and you are reading it. That is the end of the story. That is the best Lex Luthor story. Hands down, the best Lex Luthor story ever told. And it's so disappointing because Brian Azzarello wrote it and it was amazing, and then he wrote Joker and it sucked. Like, you could not have possibly got Joker more wrong than Brian Azzarello did. But he got Lex Luthor so right. It's amazing.
Say, Ian, you know that video that we made, you know, I'm sure I mentioned this like 1,000 times, the one with, you know, Joker's philosophy and all that shit. Basically, I've been getting comments on that saying like, oh, you should do the same thing with Superman and Superman and Lex Luthor. I'm like, that's not gonna work.
It could. You could do a conversation between them, but the thing is, it's not going to be the same thing where Superman agrees with him at every point. It'd be much more of an argument than a debate.
And you don't really
an argument than someone just agreeing with everything. Because that's the thing. I wrote Batman in that as just completely flat for the most part. He doesn't say much, and even when he does, until the very end, he doesn't say much. And even when he does, he's agreeing with Joker, because that's the thing, is he does agree with Joker on a fundamental level.
Yeah, but you can't really...
Let me finish. He does agree with Joker on a fundamental level, it's just that he doesn't agree with him on how to react to these events, or these views. As far as Lex Luthor goes, there's a fundamental difference of philosophy between Superman and Lex Luthor, and that's why they butt heads so much. It's the exact opposite of the Batman-Joker relationship, which is what makes it interesting. They are exact polar opposites, whereas Batman and Joker are the exact same person.
The thing that you can't really see Superman and Lex Luthor sitting in a small, dank cell at a desk talking to each other.
Well, it wouldn't be a cell. It'd definitely be the environment the environment would have to play up metaphorically. So you do something like a skyscraper.
Yeah, like that.
Skyscraper is the thing, or you do something in you know, I don't know, spitballing here, in a park that Lex built. That's very, very, or even better, in the Fortress of Solitude.
Or in Lex's mansion.
Oh no, how about just Lex is standing on the roof of his building and Superman's just like floating above him?
That could work. I actually kind of like the Fortress of Solitude.
Or one of Lex's private islands.
He's like...
He's sipping his Mai Tai, and then there's like this, bikini-wearing waiters are serving his drink while he's just talking to Superman, while he's just floating.
Can you do a Lex Luthor voice, Milan?
I'm pretty sure I can do one. Yeah, I think I can pull it off. Like, if I can pull off Joker, you know, Lex Luthor should be fun.
Fair enough.
It's gonna be
Alright, I'll think about it. I gotta write that Oranges thing, and I promised Blue Dragon 5 I'd write a Joker Blogs review now that I'm off of school for a while. So I gotta work on that. I think we're about done talking about Man of Steel, so...
Oh, yeah. Oh, guys, one more thing. Have you guys seen that trailer for... It's gonna be like a Nightwing YouTube series?
Yeah, I put it up in this week's episode of Geeky Gentleman.
Oh yeah, that's good. Oh, it looks so great. It's in HD.
I haven't seen it.
Just watch this week's episode of Geeky Gentleman. It's right there about 40 minutes in.
Alright. Okay. Well, final thoughts on Man of Steel. Once again, it looks fantastic. I have faith now with Zack Snyder. I didn't have it. When it was announced, I got really excited. Because I love Watchmen, and I thought 300 was a good movie. I thought he'll definitely bring the Superman movie we wanted. Then I got a bit worried after seeing Sucker Punch. Just a bit. Actually,
Sucker Punch. I'm gonna send you a video later on, Senior Nerd, explaining Sucker Punch. But the thing about Christopher Nolan, it's like everyone's singing his praises. Sorry.
Yeah, go ahead.
It's just a quick point. The thing about Christopher Nolan, sure, he does a great, plot-wise and writing-wise, and he does get some really great, realistic scope worlds, but he's not really a big action, large-scale, sure he has like vehicles and gunfights, but he's not a great fight guy. He's not a great, sweeping kind of character shot guy. But he's good at that. But Scott Snyder does really have. It's an interesting combination between the realism of Christopher Nolan and the far out, stylized, awesomeness of Zack Snyder. And I think Christopher Nolan kind of brings out the kind of the bet. Well,
I think Christopher Nolan's views on fighting, as far as cinematography goes, were kind of explained in Batman Begins when Ra's al Ghul had that line, "This is not a dance." And whereas Zack Snyder, it's very, very, it's almost looks like ballet. Is the thing.
It does.
You watch a ballet, like you watch a fight scene in a ballet, it looks a lot like a Zack Snyder fight scene, and that's a very good compliment. That is not to be diminished. The thing is, ballet fights, quote unquote, they're very, very particular. It's very, very, it's almost mathematical in structure.
Yeah.
And that's really impressive.
Yeah, and
I mean, still, one of the most iconic fight scenes to me is Leonidas in 300 as he goes through the Persian soldiers, and it ends with him just slamming the fuck out of that guy on his shield. It was so fluid and yet completely precise. Every movement felt calculated, which I liked. So to see Superman do that, because that's the thing is, Grant Morrison did that a lot in All-Star Superman, where you'd see or Frank Whiteley and Grant Morrison, I suppose, where you'd see an event happen and Superman was doing so many things so fast that you got those overlay kind of transparent Supermans that you could see, so you'd see exactly what he's doing in the span of a second. That will be really interesting to see in a fight scene with Zack Snyder's style.
I think those two would complement each other very well, and I just it's one of those things. It looks awesome, and the creative team is so great, and everything is lined up to be perfect. You just don't want it to suck. You're like, oh, the best thing that could ever happen, and it's shit. And
I mean, it's kind of pointless for us to be doing this video now that I think about it, because this movie's never going to come out, because the world's ending later this month. So sorry about that, guys.
Oh,
it's supposed to come out this week. Man of Steel is supposed to come out this week, but they push it till next year. So goddamn you guys.
Yeah, I know. Now we won't get to see it before the end of the world. See, that's the thing, is I was so sure that 2012 really was going to be the end of the world, because all the greatest movies were coming out in 2012. We got Avengers, we got Dark Knight Rises, we're going to have Superman, we had Amazing Spider-Man. All the good shit was coming out in 2012. I'm like, yeah, the world is going to end.
Yeah, Django Unchained. Yeah, well, anyway. Yeah. But let's go. I think this is not a subject we should talk about, but the costume. I liked it, but I don't know. It's just the fanboy. It's because I'm used to it. I missed the briefs.
Not me at all. I always thought they looked silly.
No, it's the thing is Zack Snyder, when he does comic books, he does it seriously, and they don't, like in Watchmen, they're wearing costumes, and the way they carry themselves, it's not like, you know, when Schumacher did Batman, like you notice the bat nipples, because he pretty much pointed them out, you know. But when Snyder did Watchmen, like I don't know if you guys know, I don't know if you guys noticed that Night Owl, his costume, he was wearing briefs. And I didn't notice until like the third.
The thing is, in Watchmen, the costumes, the characters were very aware that they were wearing costumes. And like a Superman thing, he isn't wearing a costume, he's wearing a uniform. So it shouldn't look like, the thing is, they were very aware. They were modeling their costumes after what they'd seen in superhero comics and Watchmen. The characters were modeling their costumes after, you know, Superman and Batman and stuff. They were trying to look like them. Whereas, so for an actual comic book character in an actual comic book film, it's got to be something different that still is able to be taken seriously.
I don't know. The thing is, I really, at first I was like, you know, I had the same sort of thoughts with as Senior Nerd, like, oh, I missed the briefs, I missed the Circus Man strong pants, but as observing the costume a little bit more and seeing it in actual motion, it looks fucking amazing.
Yeah, I do like I like the ass on his chest looks like covering his whole chest.
I know, we don't get the
and the
tiny
gauntlet,
fucking
and the gauntlet looks a bit out of place for me, but looking at it when he was like, you know, have his fist on the ground and you know, before you zoom up the air, I was like, yeah, the gauntlet works. It's just, you know, a familiarity, you know, something you're familiar with
on it. I like the texture quite a bit of the costume. The very intricate, you know. Like, that's the thing, is you couldn't do that back in the day because film wasn't as crisp. But now that you have HD, regular fabric or just straight leather looks boring. It's there on screen and that's all it is. It's just there. Now you've got this renaissance of costume design that just hasn't been around since the height of theater, where they're really going just all out on costumes now, just putting every little tiny detail into it to just really sell it.
It's really strange that you should sorry, I just one more little thing. It's really strange that you like that kind of, you know, the extreme, not the kind of imprints on the fabric, like in the like the blue and red of the Superman suit. I know you could see like little, you know, notches, little S's and stuff on it, and some people just don't like that. They think it overcomplicates the costume unnecessarily. But looking at the costume, I think it really works for the mood and the feel of the movie that the trailer portrays.
See, to me, I understand that it's overcomplicated. I fully accept that it's overcomplicated because it's intentionally overcomplicated. Because to me, now he looks like a knight. He looks like a sci-fi knight.
That is true, actually. Now that I think about it, yeah, it looks like almost like a Flash Gordon-y type of a thing, but brought into 2012, which is awesome.
Yeah. Anyway, Ed, you keep trying to like wrap up your point. Me and Milan, we're just spitballing at this point. I didn't want this to be a full hour video or anything, so you know, wrap up. We gotta end. This is getting long.
Well, yeah, the trailer was just so great, and I'm just very excited. As a Superman fan, I was keep hitting that replay button over and over again. I'm just excited. I now have faith with Zack Snyder. I think this might be the best Superman movie we had since Superman 2, and I can't not wait. Or, well, you know what? We can't wait because the world's going to end this week. So.
Yeah, you know, it's too bad we'll never get to see this movie because the world's going to end. So,
fucking minds.
Yeah, it's not like they just were carving onto a big ass rock and, you know, you kind of run out of space after a while. Anyway, tune in later this week for our episode on There Will Be Brawl, which I'm just ecstatic for. love that movie, and it's going to be great to talk about it. Alec will be joining us again, and yeah, so until next time, we're Geeky Gentlemen, and we'll be discussing